Should designers study design? Or should designers not study design? I think this is a very important question, and I get this question very often. I also saw it on Twitter. So many people, so many designers, maybe you are one of them, are asking themselves and asking other experienced designers if they should start studying design or if they shouldn't start studying design. I would like to answer this question in today's video. I think there is no full answer to this because it also differs from country to country or from area to area. But I would like to answer this question today in this video. So is it necessary to study design as a designer? I didn't study design and I had some reasons for that. Like about 4 years ago, I was asking myself, what should I study? There was definitely the decision to study something because at that moment I really wanted to focus on a second area because I wanted to have a secondary or second foundation in my life which helps me to get jobs in different areas, because at that moment I wasn't really sure by myself if design would really develop like it really developed. I mean, design is huge. All these companies like Google, Facebook and so on, they only focus about the perfect experience for their customers, and this requires great designers. But I think 4 or 5 years ago, the people didn't really know if it will develop in a way like that. So that was why I decided to study something else than design, because I could have studied design, but I decided to study business economics. Now, after like 4 years now and I'm almost finished with my studies, I can say that this really helped me, and this really focused my mind not only on the design perspective but also on this economic and goal, economic stakeholder related goal perspective. And I think this is something we have to keep in mind in our designs all the time. Once somebody said, and I think I mentioned this before in one of my videos, that a good design, which is creating money, which is getting money and keeping a business running, is better than the best experience that you can get, but creating no money. So creating some money to keep the business running is always better, and I think my studies really showed me that and supported that aspect of my job. That doesn't mean that I won't be a designer in the future. I actually want to be a designer, and I think having such a second education which is coming in from a different side is really helping me. So maybe the question shouldn't be, should a designer study design, but maybe should a designer study a different area, a different field like business economics or mechanical engineering or whatever. Maybe this other studies, this other education, this different topic can help you to become a better designer and to get in the end new jobs and new freelance jobs. But what about studying design? When I started studying 4 or 5 years ago and I thought about not studying design, I was thinking that studying design won't help me to get a better designer, because at that time I was already kind of good. I made some freelance projects, I started SketchUp TV and so on, so I had these jobs already, and I thought if I would study 3 years or maybe 5 years in a design area, that this wouldn't really help me to get new jobs because I already got them. I got many requests for new freelance projects, so at that time I thought studying design won't help me to get more projects. And I think that's not only relevant for designers who are already in the field, but also this is relevant for people who want to become a designer, maybe a freelance designer. This is totally for you guys, because if you are just starting out and if you just want to become a designer, you don't have to study design to get a designer. Being a designer means getting the design to the company and to the client. And to get these design skills, you don't have to study and waste 3 or 5 years, as I mentioned, or just wasting so much money. The money aspect is also something I will talk about in a few minutes, but for you beginners, you don't have to study design, because in these 3 to 5 years you can get so much work, you can get so much projects that build your portfolio, and the portfolio is what the client really wants to see. I think looking at your CV is something that the client or the company which is probably hiring you is looking at on a secondary basis. So you should really focus on building a great portfolio with great projects, great clients and so on, and just getting design work out there. That means practicing, doing projects, maybe even for free at the beginning, but I wouldn't recommend that to any of you. Just try to make money wherever possible, but don't waste your time if you don't have any projects. Actually, I think talking about designing when having no real projects is also something I will talk about in a different video. Okay, the money aspect. I know a lot of you are living in the US or in other countries than Germany, because Germany is like such a wealthy country when it comes to being a student. Studying in Germany doesn't usually require you to pay real fees. It requires you to pay like a certain small fee, which is about 500 euros or let's say $500 a year. But I know that many universities in the US are like requiring $10,000, $20,000 to get your degree. In Germany that's different, so it's kind of hard for me to help you at this aspect, but I know that if my studies would have cost me $10,000 or $20,000, I wouldn't have studied in that area or at that university. In Germany that's free, and you even get support if you or your parents don't earn that much money. So maybe it's also good for you to know about that. Maybe you want to study in Germany now, but as I said, if I would have to pay so much money for learning these things that I also learned by myself, by watching videos, by reading a lot, and by just producing new designs and practicing, making mistakes, making successful designs and projects, then I would not take on these studies, because it would be a waste of my money. And also, as I already mentioned, a real waste of my time. 3 to 5 years is such a long time, and I can't really recommend you guys wasting that much time on studies like that. I think studying is great. I had such a great time studying, and it really helped me to become the person that I am right now, because it shaped me, it gave me contact to new businesses, startups and so on. And I already learned a lot about myself and, as I already mentioned, the economic area. I also have relatively much free time and also a great flexibility when it comes to studying, learning or having free time. So for example, yesterday after breakfast I went with a friend to the gym, but usually I would have to study or work in this time. But since I'm a student, I can say I will study, I will learn at afternoon, so I don't have to do this in the morning, which is helping me a lot. If you're a freelance designer, of course you can do that as well, but just a small tip. Studying also gives you kind of a great flexibility. It also helps to meet new people, to make new relationships, and I think that's great, and I learned a lot. And these are the pros about being a student or studying in general. But keep in mind that if you have to pay a lot of money, that this is maybe not the best choice for you. So I hope I could answer this a little bit to you guys. If you have any questions, shoot them down in the comment section and I really want to answer them. As I said, I studied business economics, not design, because I said I wanted to have a secondary way of influencing my work, which was business economics, and it was great. I don't want to miss that time, but I'm happy that I didn't study design, because all that knowledge that I gained over these years wasn't because I studied design, but because I just learned a lot using books, using free stuff which is available on the internet, like courses, videos, ebooks, whatever, guys. There are so much things that you can really use to learn, and I think that's really important to just look out for these free resources which are out there to just get new knowledge. As I said, shoot your questions down in the comments section. And one more aspect, one final aspect relating studying design or not. I know that many companies out there are asking for a certain degree, but if you are freelance designers, you don't have these companies which have such a requirement. So working for freelance can really be an advantage right there. But if you find companies which are having this requirement of having a degree in design, then think about maybe not working for this company but a different one, which require your real skill but not your education. Because having this degree doesn't mean that you are a great designer. Only producing great designs and showing them like in a portfolio will mean that you are a great designer and companies will see that. So focus on that, build a great portfolio. I hope this video really encouraged you and really helped you with your questions. If you have any more of them, shoot them down in the comment section. Thanks guys for watching this, and we see us in the next one. This video was sponsored by Dev Mountain. If any of you are interested in learning UX design, Dev Mountain is a 12-week design bootcamp intended to get you a full-time job in the industry. You can learn more about this at devmountain.com or by clicking the link in the video description. Thanks for watching the video, and we see us in the next one. Bye!